I was 13 years old when I realized my days as a competitive basketball player were numbered. My jump shot had no jump, my defense had no D, and my 6-foot height had abruptly halted as I gradually morphed from being a center to a forward to a guard who was way too slow. Entering high school, I was looking for a winter activity to compensate for my dropping basketball when I made one of the best decisions of my life: joining the competitive speech team. Not formal debate, but rather platform speeches, about 8 minutes long, kind of like this one. I went on to compete and then coach at the collegiate level, and I have to tell you, as tremendous as my experiences were in the college classroom, it was the public speaking training that made all the difference. But not just the speaking, the researching, the writing, the organization of thoughts, the contemplation of wordings. That skill set completely translated and shaped my current career as a media professor. But it's not just me. Many of this nation's leaders and innovators credit public speaking as a cornerstone for their success. According to a 2016 study in Business and Professional Communication Quarterly, oral communication skills is the most sought after skill set from employers when considering job applicants. And yet, they indicate it's also the skill set in which most applicants are likely to lack. Why? Well, I'm afraid the answer to that question is far too easy to unearth. Very few high schools are requiring public speaking as part of their core curriculum. And that's what I think has to change. Yes, speech teams need far more funding and visibility, but at its core, doesn't everyone need this skill set? The average high school student takes 7 courses a year for a total of 28 courses. Shouldn't one of those 28 cover the skills that employers say they most desire? It is the biggest disconnect that we have in our modern education system. Few high schools require public speaking, and yet the majority of colleges, recognizing the deficiency, require it. Now, a plethora of reasons exist for not requiring oral communication, but very few of those hold water. So let's shoot those down, shall we? Sure, it's difficult to assess a speech via a nationally standardized test. But the same could be said of writing, but we've decided we value that, so we found a way to do it. Sure, people are naturally scared of public speaking and naturally then shy away from it. But there are tons of things that are simultaneously dreaded and yet crucial. Try finding a person who enthusiastically runs to their dentist appointment. Sure, speeches take a lot of class time. A class of 25 students can take an entire week to deliver 6-minute persuasive speeches. But watching your classmates deliver speeches can result in people thinking about issues such as gentrification, net neutrality, or fracking for the first time. Those discussions travel. So what's the argument in favor of requiring oral communication? Well, consider this. Despite many reports of the rapid rise of the power of the internet, just 7% of word-of-mouth persuasion occurs online. The vast majority still takes place via face-to-face and group interactions. Look, we are rightly embracing the core 4 subjects of math, science, English, and social studies. However, oral communication is by far the most likely mechanism that we will use to render and disseminate this information, making it essential to the delivery of the entire core. Without it, our knowledge is all dressed up with no place to go. Without it, we lose. Consider today's society without proper communication training. Scientists can conduct the best possible research about climate change, and yet without communication, they risk losing that debate to the layman who holds up a snowball. Engineers can design a green energy revolution, one that saves the planet money and jobs, but without communication, they're usually stuck in neutral, as the politician only sees the potential short-term job loss. We can tell all the stories we want, about racial inequality, both past and present. But without communication, Black Lives Matter stays a slogan rather than what it should be, a dialogue. It is imperative that we restore oral communication to its rightful place as something we value and teach. It's amazing we haven't before. Students and overzealous parents are constantly trying to find a way to get an edge, to stand out, to get a leg up. Folks, it's right here. Public speaking is the magic bullet. Otherwise, you're just one of thousands of students with 37 extracurricular activities who still can't carry on an adult conversation. That speech team I was on in college, well, that small group of people went on to be prominent lawyers, a film festival director, a world public health manager, a television producer, and yeah, a few college professors. But even if you're not on the speech team, a single public speaking course holds the potential to make all the difference between you getting your dream job and hearing that dreaded phrase, "We decided to go in another direction." Folks, I got lucky. My lack of basketball skills resulted in my stumbling upon something truly life-altering. Not everyone's going to stumble upon it. Today's society is hyper-mediated, but we have to accept that there are certain things media cannot replace. Employers are not conducting interviews via Instagram. Fundraisers do not ask for six-figure donations via mass text. We can hire all the social media gurus we want, teaching us the proper use of emoticons, but we cannot forget that there is no substitute in this world for an orator who has something to say. And whether that happens on stage, in the classroom, or in the living room, we have to embrace the spoken word. Thank you.